What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Rianne Fran giving you that Friday energy on a Monday. It is a snowy Sunday afternoon in New York City. You know, I was going to say the vibe is right, but it's not. I don't want it to be snowing. Maybe if it was December, but, you know, it's February. I'm over it.
It's a lot of snow. It's only because I love the snow, and it's just because it snowed a lot, like not last week. It's only been a week since the last time it snowed a lot.
Yeah, we're all good on the snow.
So we don't need already, a lot of snow. It just sucked because after snow in New York is the worst. There's slush, it's icy, there's all these giant puddles. It's just like gross, dirty snow.
Yeah, say what it is. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's bad. Like it's
fucking
bad
gross.
snow because it gets to be gross in the streets and everything. So we were kind of dwindling down on that, and now we have new snow to just cover up all the bad snow. But you know, it's a Super Bowl today. I'm sure your Monday morning might be a little tough. A lot of people argue that everyone should have off on the day after the Super Bowl, and I do agree.
Can I throw something out there? Mm-hmm. I couldn't give a fuck about the Super Bowl ever.
Yeah,
literally
I know.
Ever. And it's the same thing every year where I'll pretend like, yeah, well, like I would love to be watching the Super Bowl with my friends and have good food and
right. Can't have parties like
and
we used
whatnot. But I'm not even the type that's like, yeah, I'm just watching the Super Bowl for the commercials and the food. Like, peace out. Like, I don't even care about doing that. Like, I can just have my regular Sunday. And I was thinking about binge watching Modern Family. I'm not even joking. It's such a random show to throw out there from the beginning. I saw it broadcasted upon my Hulu. Yeah. And it was like, Hulu suggests Modern Family, full series on here. I was like, you know what?
Have you ever watched it from the beginning?
I've never watched it from the beginning. I've seen many episodes of Modern Family, and I think it's a funny show. Yeah. But I've never watched it beginning to end. Yeah. And I said,
today might be
it's Super Bowl Sunday? Am I going to watch the Super Bowl alone?
Yeah.
Or am I going to binge watch Modern Family?
Well, I'll be watching the Super Bowl alone.
but
and I'm excited for it, obviously.
Yeah,
I love the Super Bowl.
But you love football.
Yeah.
You're like, yes, football. Yeah. But how many years are we going to do this? You know,
forever.
The same thing every year.
But
I know.
If Tom Brady's like on a fourth quarter drive, like they're coming back, like you're not excited.
Oh no.
Kind of like
that's the thing.
Yeah.
Fourth quarter, I'm in. Okay. I'm locked in. Yeah. I want to know what happens. Tom Brady, will he get 7 rings?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm into it.
Halftime performance?
Like this year, like I'll tune in. I'll pop in, but I'm not like, I don't know. I guess I don't really care about either teams. Yeah. Like I don't, I guess whatever, cool, Tom Brady, my boyfriend loves him, sick. Like, I just, I'm not trying to be cynical about it. Trust me, I wish I felt it in my heart the way that people feel about this thing. I do.
I wish you did too, because it's really fucking enjoyable.
For you. You know what I'm saying?
But not just for me, for
everybody.
For America.
for America. It's America's favorite pastime. That's baseball, but whatever. The Super Bowl too. Yeah. Whatever. People love it. Yeah. I get it.
I feel like it's kind of like The Bachelor, where it's like, oh, everyone's watching this one thing.
Yeah, that's true.
I love how Noah is the one who compared the Super Bowl to The Bachelor. Not even.
I'm trying to like.
No, definitely.
No, well, I don't even really love The Bachelor. But anyways, it's just something that I just go along with, like and I'm not someone who's going to complain. Like, obviously Hank, he'll watch football all the time. I'm not gonna be like, oh, shut it off. Have you
ever been to like an awesome Super Bowl party with like endless food and tons of people and like that?
No.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
Maybe one day.
I've been to like small Super Bowl parties with good food and some people. Yeah. But I went to blowout.
I went to one and it was awesome. Only one ever, but I mean, small gatherings for the Super Bowl are awesome.
It's great. No, trust me. If I could have one today or do one today, I'd love to do it.
The element of being able to party and do it is better. Yes. And this year we can't do that, so it makes it even less appealing for you.
Right, because it's just the game. It's just the big game.
Yep,
and I'm like, cool.
Yeah,
but also,
yeah.
I'm sure listen, I know that everybody, I'm not like, once again, I'm not trying to be like cool and be like, I don't want to watch a Super Bowl. I wish I felt the passion. Trust me. I was thinking about it earlier. I was like, why do I feel this way? Maybe some people will agree with me. Yeah. Maybe some people will relate to it. I don't know. I just thought to myself, we're really going to do the same thing every year where the teams, they play all season, and at the end of the year, the two best teams,
now you're just
they compete
explaining.
against each other.
now you're just against organized sports.
No, see, that's here's the thing.
Sports in general.
It's actually that growing up, I loved baseball and I loved hockey. And I never loved football.
Yeah.
I just never did. I could watch any baseball game. People argue it's boring. I don't know. I can watch it. Hockey, I think, is the most entertaining.
Yep.
Even basketball. There was some basketball in there. For some reason,
just doesn't
football,
click for football for you.
It's like my brain is like a brick wall when it comes to football. It just doesn't. It just, But I appreciate everybody else's enthusiasm for it.
Yeah.
Now, who do you want to
love
win?
Football.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you love football.
When everybody's listening, the game will be decided. So, congrats to the winner.
Yeah, well, I mean, that doesn't.
No, I don't know. I'm rooting for the Chiefs. I'm like in a weird in between. I don't know.
I like last year, right?
Yeah, I like Bruce Arians a lot. Would like to see him win. But then there's like the Tom Brady element. The story, if the Bucks win, the story is fantastic.
I'm rooting for the Bucks, by the way.
Yeah, the Bucks win, the story is fantastic. But I also love Andy Reid, so I don't know. It's tough. Just we'll see what happens.
I'm rooting for the Bucks, but I have a feeling the Chiefs are going to win. If anybody cares about my football analysis when I said I don't care about football.
Amazing analysis. You know what, Rhea? I kind of feel like this weekend made me feel like nothing has happened in the last year. Like time has stood still. Like I was like, okay, it is February 2021. I am still in my apartment, still doing nothing, still watching TV all day long and not being able to go outside and do anything. And I was like, wow, it's been a year almost. And I'm stuck in the same place.
We did have a nice dinner on Friday night.
We had a lovely dinner.
We had a beautiful dinner on Friday night. So let's not say we did nothing.
No.
We had a nice dinner Friday night.
We had a nice dinner outside
in cold New York City. It was nice though. I wasn't chilly. I felt perfectly fine with the heaters.
Yeah.
We had a nice dinner.
Yes.
Saturday was the problem.
Yeah.
Where we just did nothing. I watched all 10 episodes of The Wilds on Saturday. The new record for myself. I've never watched 10 episodes of a show all in one day. Besides Outer Banks, I think. I think Outer Banks, but I may have taken a break with Outer Banks. Like I paused in between episodes, freshened up.
Yeah.
I went straight through 10 episodes, did not get up from the spot that I was in on my beanbag in my living room. Highly recommend the show. I know a lot of people listening have already watched it because they recommended it to us, and I would like to say good recommendation also to Noah because he said it was really good, and I really enjoyed it. So I would say that's up there. Everyone should watch it.
Yeah. I think we both capitalized on our Noah recommendations yesterday because I started The Great, which he also said was a great show and that I wanted to watch. Yeah.
Oh, during the noms.
It was great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I do remember.
Yep. So, and it wasn't, I don't think I really understood the full premise of it, but after a couple episodes, I was like, okay, this is, I'm enjoying this. I like this. I love Nicholas Hoult. I've loved Nicholas Hoult since he was in that vampire movie. I forget what it was called, but it's a bad movie, but
fun fact.
Love Nicholas Hoult.
I was on a movie set with him once, and my job was like the slate guy who starts the scene. And
Action.
He was the actor, and I was in front of him, and I like slammed the slate really hard, and I went back and the director of photography was like, hey, like don't ever slam it that hard again. You're an actor.
Oh my
Damn.
God.
Dude, how long did you think about that moment after?
I was just like, the rest of the night was ruined.
For years, you're still thinking about it every night.
Up there, I was like slowly closing it.
Oh man.
Noah, by the way, we got to get a camera on you because he just sighed. But
He's like, I don't want it.
If you're listening on Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen, you can also watch us on YouTube.
Yep.
I want that to be put out there. You can watch Chicks in the Office on YouTube, which I think is my favorite way to consume podcasts. I watch a lot of podcasts on YouTube. I don't ever listen to podcasts via my phone, like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, just because I like the visual, and I think that a lot of comedians and other podcasters out there are doing.
That's the coolest part about Joe Rogan on Spotify is that it plays the video and then you can leave.
Right.
Yeah. That is cool, but the thing is not cool that he's not on YouTube anymore. Like,
true.
But there are a lot of comedians and podcasters that have really fun podcasts on YouTube.
Yeah.
Now they've been doing it for a while. Some of them newer. but the visuals are great, and you just throw it on your TV and you watch it, and I want people to start doing that for us, because I think they'll really enjoy the visual, and if we can get a camera on Noah, that would be good too.
Natalie, shout out Natalie, who like edits the YouTube for us. If we do it over Zoom, because I'm like on the Zoom, she'll be like, she'll put me in, and I'm like, oh, come on.
No, it's got to happen, because you throw your takes in there, and people care. People care about Noah.
Want to see you tell that story about it.
And also, people want to know what Noah looks like.
True.
My favorite thing is when we post a picture of Noah or some sort of video of Noah, and each time there's just an influx of girls who's like, oh my God, that's what Noah looked like?
Yeah, they have they have a totally different vision of what you look like in real life.
I think they always say that your voice doesn't match your face.
Yeah.
I will say, because you sound a bit shy when you speak.
And I don't look shy.
No, not like I don't really know how to describe it. Like, he sounds like a little bit more timid.
Yeah.
But then Noah has like a beard and like,
right.
You know what I mean?
I think it's the beard.
Yeah.
I think it's the you kind of sound like a guy who doesn't have a beard. And yet you have like a pretty thick beard.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's not a bad thing. It's
no. It's definitely a good thing. It's mostly because of the beard. What was I gonna say? Oh no. So yes, I think we both took Noah's recommendations. Now that I'm thinking about it, I watched multiple episodes of Real Housewives of New York. I'm on season 5, rewatching all of it. And then I wanted a break from reality TV, so I watched The Great, watched 4 episodes of The Great. Then I wanted to go back to reality TV, so I caught up on last week's episode of The Challenge. And then I thought about going back to The Great, but then I wanted to watch a movie, so I watched Sylvie's Love. Very sweet movie. Recommend. It's a love story. It's just like a good old fashioned love story for all my Eagles fans out there. Nnamdi Asomugha is the star of this movie. I did not realize he went into acting. He was a football player. He's married to Kerry Washington, which I think a lot of people forget also.
Wait, before, when you told me who he's married to, you said Carrie Underwood.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh,
and I was like, Carrie Underwood.
Well, no, that was
wrong.
your bad of like believing.
Yeah, no, that was wrong.
I did think
Kerry Washington. No. He's married to Kerry Washington. No, he's married to Kerry Washington, and he like stars and produced this movie with you'll see Tessa Thompson's the other star, but like Regé-Jean Page from Bridgerton is in it. Like, there's so many people. You're like, oh, one of the blonde girl from Girls, I forget her name, she's also in it. It was very enjoyable, but it just really capped off like a long day of consuming a lot in front of the television.
You know what? That's completely fine, because right now, we're in New York City. Not much to do besides that. Indoor dining opens up soon, though. Valentine's Day weekend, which will be enjoyable. Thinking about which restaurant I'm going to hit first. There's so many options. I just can't decide.
I know.
I'm also like, Valentine's Day is coming up. I've been thinking in my head, like,
you know what? That is the anniversary of first anniversary.
What?
Of Too Bad.
Oh, true.
Oh my God.
Day.
It is almost 1 year since Justin Bieber DM'd me. Do I DM him on Valentine's Day and say happy anniversary? Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary, babes.
Yeah.
Too bad. Should. I'm thinking about it. I'm also thinking about, Hank and I have been dating for 4 years now. Valentine's Day is coming up. Do I care or not care? That's where my head always goes. Do I want him to plan something, or do I not care? You're like deciding for me. I never know if I should care or not. I kind of want to care this year.
I feel like you can care, because there's really nothing like this. If there were any year, and I know it's harder to go out and do stuff, but if there was a year to care, I feel like it would be this one, because he could potentially do something really sweet in the apartment. Maybe,
or one of the restaurants that are opening up.
Yes. Which, if he hasn't,
no, that's what I'm saying. And
I don't even know if you can get a reservation at this point.
I know, and I'm getting a bit nervous that I should have done it, but then I'm like, why should I have done it?
Yeah.
Anytime we go out to eat, I make the reservation.
He might not even know that it's Valentine's Day on Saturday.
Sunday.
No, I keep forgetting because it's a long weekend.
No, he knows.
Yeah.
But does he know? Well, if any PMT fans are listening to this, maybe maybe start tweeting at Hank some hints,
Just like, P.S. Valentine's Day is
next week. Because I'm tired
of,
I'm tired of having to say something. It's reached that point where it's like, do I really got to remind you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't tell what's the better idea, to have people remind him or to just do nothing and really see if he does nothing.
Right? Should we
just as
guys,
as an experiment?
Do we put Hank to the
see
test?
Because
I know I've never really cared that much, to be honest. So now I'm like, I think I want to start caring. 4 years in, I think I want to start caring.
Which honestly is really unfair.
It is. It's totally unfair.
He knows
it should be the opposite.
Right, because he has no hint that your mind has changed about not caring. You've always said to him, like, I don't really care about Valentine's Day. I don't really care about Valentine's Day. So if this is the year where you automatically care and then get mad at him, he's going to be like,
here's the thing.
How am I supposed to know that?
I wouldn't get mad at him. I would just say, we were all rooting for you.
Yeah.
Everybody on the Chicks in the Office podcast, we were all rooting for you. We talked about it. We said, we hope Hank does something. And you failed.
Yep.
And unfortunately, we have to live with that. We'll get over it, but unfortunately, we have to live with
what happens.
At least flowers.
Yeah.
I swear to God, if he doesn't get me flowers. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, cut that out when I said I'm kidding. I'm trying to stop saying I'm kidding. Because like I said, people get it.
Yeah. Have you heard of Squishmallows? Squishmallows?
The pillows?
The pillows.
Your sister showed me them.
Yeah, that she's fucking obsessed with them. I really want one. It's on my list for Valentine's Day, but they're like really.
It's now on my list for Valentine's Day.
No, that's what I'm saying. They're hard to get. My sister came home with one that she flew home with it because she had found it in a store, and it was like, so I've been trying to find them online. It's like impossible. You got to buy them actually at a retailer, and there's not really anywhere in New York. Yesterday I went to Target. They were supposed to have them in Target, not the one in Manhattan or the one by me, Walgreens. They had the Valentine's Day one's a unicorn, very cute, but that's not the one I want. So, I don't want a Valentine's themed one, but I want a different one. I really want one, but I can't seem to get them anywhere. The ones my sister have, oh my God. They're the most comfortable thing ever.
Joe should be searching for it. If it's what you want for Valentine's Day.
And he is. He wants one too. Like when my sister had it, he was like, this thing is amazing. I want one. So he wanted one also. So it's like, all right, do we just get two for both of us? And they're just, I don't know where to find them. You can get them online. It's like they're collector's items.
Maybe somebody listening knows.
Yeah. If anybody knows where to buy Squishmallows, let me know.
You know who has all of them, and that's probably why you can't find them, is Charli D'Amelio.
She does.
She has like 30,000 of them.
I know. Well, the whole thing is like you can collect them, and they on their Instagram they have all these kids who have all of them, and yes, are the kids young children? Yes, but if they're stuffed animals and they're so comfortable, they just like
so you just want to cuddle with it.
Yeah, you hug it. It makes you feel good. They're so squishy. My sister says they're great to like actually use as pillows to sleep. Like they're almost. Like when you get those big body pillows that you can just hug and snuggle up and sleep with, that they're that nice.
I have 2 of those already.
Yeah, I really want
you guys have
Norman and
weighted
Hank.
blankets. I got a weighted blanket
I got one for Joe for Christmas. He loves it.
It's nice.
Yeah,
I want one, but I've never.
You have to get used to it.
They're very.
I got a pretty heavy one, and like.
How many pounds?
17, over 17. Like I feel like that's pretty heavy. I did the math. Like people.
People
tell you
that's
like
right for your weight.
add it up. Like
Joe's is 20.
Fran knows your weight.
Now I look like a bitch. Like
right. Well, that's good for your weight.
Yeah.
My boyfriend has a 20-pound blanket.
Damn.
No, but it's comfortable. But even like for me under the 20, it was like, okay, this kind of feels like a lot, but it's nice.
It's harder to get up like in the morning. I'm like,
I can't sleep with it.
Wait, what do you mean? You don't?
No, like
so
I'm under it watching TV like at night.
I like.
Oh my God, I think if I actually slept with it on my bed, there was no chance I would get up in the morning.
Yeah.
I already struggle enough. I don't need that to make it worse.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That would be an issue.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I don't need. If anybody's got any hot tips on where to find Squishmallows,
we're in the market. If you could smuggle them in from somewhere,
it's like you almost have to buy them like on eBay. Like they're nowhere.
We won't tell anybody.
Yeah. Just the ones on Amazon. I tried to order one on Amazon.
Knockoff.
And it says, the brand and everything. I tried to order it on Amazon, and a week after I ordered it, it was like, sorry, no longer available. Order canceled. I was like, oh, come on.
That's bullshit. You know, the thing about Amazon, obviously you can get anything on there, but I didn't realize that you have to be really careful about if the products that you're buying on Amazon are actually those products.
Yeah.
And I've gotten a little more cautious with it because I was watching old videos of James Charles and Kylie Jenner, and they talked about when Kylie Jenner first released the lip kits.
Yeah.
And Amazon, or the eyeshadows and lip kits. And Amazon started selling fake ones.
Fake ones.
And everyone thought they were real just because they were on Amazon and they were, you trust Amazon, you think you can get anything on there. And the ingredients in the products were actually very harmful to you, and they caused some complications for people. And so now I remember
Kylie posting about that, being like, these aren't my products.
Right. And she said the only place you can buy them were her website at that time. Now I think it's like Ulta and other places. Right. But I'm way more cautious about what I get on Amazon now, just because I don't want to buy a product, say, like Olaplex. I love using the Olaplex hair masks. They work really well, the number 3. And if you have damaged hair. And I, for a while, was ordering them on Amazon, and then I stopped doing that and started ordering off of Sephora because I was like, what if I'm just putting shit in my hair that's not, like, if they could do that to Kylie's product, they can do that for any product.
Yeah.
So be careful. Yeah. Be careful out there, guys. Be careful if you're buying a Squishmallow on Amazon. If it's the real one.
Squishmallows.
You don't want a counterfeit Squishmallow. It feels like a pillow pet and not a Squishmallow.
Yeah.
That would be some bullshit.
I know.
All right. Before we get into today's topics, I just want to reiterate to Hank that I would really like some flowers. And if you're a guy listening to this or a gal and you want a bouquet or a bouquet, you can get one from the Bouquets Company right now. This Valentine's Day, you can celebrate with the Bouquets Company. Handpicked and source flowers directly from their farm, and their flowers stay fresher longer. The Bouquets Company is nationwide and offers next as well as same-day delivery, which is very important for Valentine's Day. If you're listening to this, they forget you're listening to this right now. You're like, yes, I gotta get flowers, and then by the time Valentine's Day comes, you forget. Bouquets Company, you can get same day or next day delivery. You skip the hassle of the search and finish your Valentine's Day shopping in one click with their Quickie Bouquet. You hit the one-click roses button at the top of their homepage, and a bouquet of seasonal roses is added right to your cart personally for you. So visit Bouquets.com/CITO and use code CITO for 25% off. That's BOUQS.com/CITO for 25% off. Once again, that's BOUQS.com/CITO for 25% off. Okay, let's get into today's topics. We have the Free Britney, the Framing Britney Spears documentary on Hulu. We watched it together. A lot to unpack from that. We're going to dive deep into Free Britney here. We also have some speculation about some Armie Hammer news that's going to drop. I'm assuming sometime this week, if it hasn't dropped already by the time this podcast comes out. It's very if like and when. It could be any day. It could be any time. It sounds like it's going to drop soon, but we'll talk about that. Also, Shailene Woodley and Aaron Rodgers are engaged randomly. They're randomly engaged, came out of nowhere. And we also have an interview with Priyanka Chopra Jonas. And I would say throw on the YouTube for that, because she had the most beautiful Zoom setup I've ever seen.
It's the most calming thing
anybody have. Out of any of our guests, she gets number 1 spot. Not even close. It's Priyanka Chopra Jonas, and then everyone else at the bottom. There's a huge giant space in between.
I can't even remember what anybody else is. Nobody comes anywhere close.
Nobody. At all.
No.
Besides Priyanka Chopra Jonas. Yep. So that was a great interview. So let's get into it, starting off with Free Britney. There was a documentary released on Hulu called Framing Britney Spears, which dives into the entire Free Britney movement. Britney as a young teenage star, as a child star, growing up in this crazy world. What people did to her, the paparazzi, the interviewers, Diane Sawyer, Jay Leno, all these pieces of shit. Justin Timberlake, who he can also go fuck himself as well after this interview. Yeah. I mean, the things that were shown in this documentary, if it doesn't make you feel, first of all, bad for Britney Spears and realize that she is stuck and she's being controlled in every way, shape, and form, and also just like how to not be a shitty person to famous people. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, there's crossing a line.
Yeah.
That it seemed like years and years ago, people did not realize. I think it's gotten a little bit better, maybe. I mean, interview-wise. We would never...
I think it has gotten better.
Interview-wise. We would never ask questions the way that some people asked questions to Britney Spears about her virginity, her boobs, her sexuality, everything about her in a disgusting manner. I don't think people would ask now.
Yeah.
But the way fans... By men.
Nonetheless, like a man straight up being like, are
Ellen
you still
would.
a virgin?
What?
I said Ellen would.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
But by fans, people need to really realize like what they're saying about these people and how they don't even really know. Like, it was just crazy. You know, what the shit that was in this documentary, the one person saying they want to shoot Britney Spears all because she may have cheated on Justin Timberlake, and then Diane Sawyer showing it to Britney Spears and having Britney Spears break down in an interview and cry, all because she was a young girl who may or may not have cheated on her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like, what was going through their minds the way they treated Britney Spears and are still treating Britney Spears to this day?
It was crazy because we were just too young to realize what was happening at that time. But I also feel like older people who are watching this and seeing it all did not realize how bad it was at that time. It was like she was a joke. She was something to laugh at. Everyone made fun of her. It was like, oh, look at Britney having this meltdown. There was no sympathy there. And it was just like the interviews and everything she had to go through and the scrutiny was so beyond like anything I feel like we've ever seen with a lot of other celebrities. And I think a lot of people talk about how bad the British tabloids have been in the past and with Princess Diana and all those things. And look what happened to Princess Diana. Like there's all these terrible, terrible things, and you just treated Britney so poorly. And there was just all these, and it was, of course, this is the thing. They can't really have anyone speak on the record that is that close to Britney now, because there's all the NDAs and whatever shit they have to sign to like work for the Spears Corporation, whatever it is, you know, like so you're seeing people from the past. You're seeing Felicia, who is one of their family friends from home, who kind of worked as her assistant sort of. And then it was also interesting, a lawyer that she had tried to hire, who she had wanted to hire him at the beginning of all this and was like, I don't want my dad in charge of my life. The judge ruled that she was not, clear of mind enough to hire her own counsel. So she wasn't even allowed to like pick her own lawyer. It's just crazy that she, during those years where it's like the circus tour, the residency, the new music, everything where she was technically under this conservatorship, she was able to function in all those events and do all of those things and create all that music and do all that, but can't make any financial decisions on her own and these really big decisions for herself on her own at all. And it's still like that. It's still like that, regardless of how, and we have seen all the reports that, Britney, from the lawyer, Britney doesn't want her father attached to the conservatorship anymore, and all these things. It's just crazy that she's still stuck and was treated so poorly.
Well, we've talked all about that.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's crazy that she was allowed to perform and do all those things under conservatorship, but she wasn't allowed to be in charge of financial decisions or anything like that. And obviously that's all very, very messed up and is a reason why this documentary is coming out. It's like, okay, well, her family is kind of messed up. Her mom and her dad. And I don't know if Jamie Lynn Spears is involved. I do know that Kevin Clancy pointed out that it is very weird that they named Jamie Lynn after the mom and the dad. That's just possessive in another way that I've never seen. That's strange. But it's what led up to the point of the breakdown and the meltdowns of Britney Spears that went so under the radar of the way people treated her as a teenage star, as this really talented superstar, pop star that just got treated like an object instead of a human being. She was treated like a zoo animal. She would go on to interviews and, you know, like I said, they would ask her about her sexuality and her body and her virginity and make her feel like if she wasn't a virgin that she was doing something wrong. And, oh, you're not this innocent girl that you portray, Britney. And just making her feel bad about the things she wears and really just making her feel crazy for being herself, and lifting up someone like Justin Timberlake, who, you know, we all thought was whatever, we love Justin Timberlake, but then hearing the way that they lifted Justin Timberlake up and brought Britney Spears down, and then on interviews with Justin Timberlake would be like, oh, did you have sex with her? Did you have sex with her? And Justin Timberlake to be like, yeah, I fucked her. Like, just total disrespect for this young girl. No wonder she lost her damn mind, making her think that she had to be this perfect image of somebody when she couldn't just be herself, making her feel bad for... She was in a young relationship. Okay, it didn't work out with Justin Timberlake. Did she cheat on him? Did she not cheat on him? I don't really care. She was a young girl who was like boosted into superstardom. Of course, some things are to go wrong in a relationship, but is that reason for Diane Sawyer to sit her down and show her a clip of somebody saying they want to shoot Britney Spears in the head because she cheated on Justin Timberlake and then make Britney Spears feel bad about it? Like, Diane Sawyer is a piece of shit. For literally, if you see that interview and think that that's a good person making Britney Spears cry right on the spot, and Britney being like, that's really messed up that woman said that, and Diane Sawyer not agreeing with Britney Spears, just still being like, well, what did you do to that boy? What did you do to him? What the fuck does it matter? Or like, do people sit in interviews and ask people if they cheated on their boyfriends or girlfriends now? Unless they're on The Bachelor, because I don't think anybody fucking cares. You know, like, what? It's, of course, when you hear about it in the news, oh, this person cheated on that person, that's why they broke up, and that's confirmed sources. Yeah, you're gonna talk about it, be, oh, that's messed up, blah blah blah. But to like sit them down like Britney Spears committed a murder. Was insanity. So no wonder she lost her mind and shaved her head and fucking took an umbrella to somebody's car. I don't feel bad for the paparazzi who's like, oh, this is how I make my money. It's $1 million shot to get a Britney Spears, and then say, but you know that shot was good. You know that shot of Britney Spears with the umbrella losing her mind was good. You're a scumbag. No wonder she took an umbrella to your car. I would too. To also be like, you know, Britney never hinted that she had any problem with us. Yes, she did. All the time. She wanted you guys to leave her alone, and you never left her alone. So no wonder she lost her mind at some point and had a breakdown. Any person would have a breakdown in that situation. Nobody's coming out like level-headed and normal on the other side of being treated the way she did.
Yeah, the paparazzi were relentless, and she, you know, they can say, oh, she was nice. She was nice to us, and we were, you know, there was always exchange pleasantries, and it seemed like she liked getting her picture taken. Like, okay, maybe to a certain extent, and maybe at the beginning, but when it gets to the point where now she has children and they're chasing her down, she's with her children, she's trying to walk on the sidewalk, she's holding her baby, she can't go anywhere without cameras stuck in her face as she's holding her child, like an infant child. And, you know, the pictures of her with the baby on the front and sitting on her lap, driving, like, everybody made it seem like she was just losing her mind on her own. Like, it was like, oh, she must be going crazy. Don't know why. I can't understand why. When in reality, everybody around her was doing this to her. Like, everybody around her was having this effect, and the paparazzi and the press and everybody, it just got so bad and just so dark for her. It's just really, I mean, it's really sad. It's really heartbreaking. You were straight up crying.
I was crying because I think it's really terrible that people, especially women, get treated a certain way. And it's always, oh, they're crazy. Like, oh, they acted crazy, you know? Like, meanwhile, there's a reason for it. It's not that person was just crazy for no reason. Like, why do you think she was pushed to her limits? And also think about the amount of people that were probably taking advantage of her behind the scenes that we never even saw. They played one clip where
she couldn't even trust her own dad.
Yeah, well, he's an asshole. But there was a clip where she's practicing and someone goes, "Oh, Britney, you're such a diva," and she was like, "I'm not a diva. I just know what I want." Like, she's the performer. She's in charge. She gets to say what happens. To call her a diva and to make her feel a certain way about herself. It's like they've literally ruined her.
Yeah.
And as a child, she had this strong, powerful voice. The way she sang was unbelievable. And then they made her make her voice sound like a little girl. They manipulated the way she sounded, and they tried to just make up this version of Britney Spears of who they wanted her to be. Her dad just wanted her to be rich so that she can buy them things and take care of them. And now we know why he's in charge. He shouldn't be in charge, but he's taking advantage of his daughter, and it's really sad. Like, it's so sad to see somebody so successful at such a young age grow up and go through all these issues, and everyone make it out to seem like, oh yeah, Britney she lost her mind. Like, Britney lost her mind because of everybody. Like, it wasn't just Britney. It was everybody had a piece of it. And yes, that comes, like, you know, interviews and media and paparazzi comes with being famous, of course, but the way that these people
such an extent.
treated celebrities is disgusting. Like Jay Leno, the way that there was some interviews with him and some other male talk show hosts.
Yeah, it was just like their monologues and shit that they would joke about.
How are these people still around? Like, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy to see as people who like talk about celebrities and interview celebrities. It's like, we would never speak to somebody like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really bad. And it makes a lot of sense of why now you think that the rumors of, oh, she says she's never going to perform again while she's under this, you know, under this control. Because they're just making money off her left and right. They're not giving her any of,
they're treating her like a little puppet robot. They're like, oh, like, Britney, move for us, dance for us, you clown.
It's like her dad has just been so used to making all the money and just having Britney do what she does. And it's just like, after watching this, it makes you want to like get the poster board, make the signs, show up outside the courts in LA and like picket with every other person that's been there. Cause it's so ridiculous. I think that apparently her boyfriend, Sam, the one she's with right now, like posted on his Instagram story, like this weekend being like, thanks so much everyone for like all the love and support, and like had it up for like 2 seconds and then deleted it.
How many fucking Sams has Britney Spears dated?
I don't know.
At least 3.
And I don't trust this guy either.
Neither do I, because I don't trust anybody involved in Britney Spears' camp right now besides Britney Spears.
Yeah.
And I think it also just shows you, like, obviously the way that famous people are treated, and like we said, they are then made up to be the crazy people, but people push them to that limit, and then once they're pushed to that limit, then they're deemed a bad person because they don't want to do anything anymore. Was so young. And it's just terrible because you see it now with so many young famous people that are like, I hate bringing up Charli D'Amelio into every conversation, but she's 16 years old and is one of the most famous people right now for whatever reason because of TikTok. And there was a paparazzi video of her recently where she was asked, like, oh, are you getting tired of TikTok? And she was like, I'm not getting tired of TikTok. I'm getting tired of not being able to do anything right. And so that video was then taken, and people destroyed her for that video, being like, well, maybe if you just did things right. And it's like, are you...
What, can't do anything.
Are you telling me if you were 16 years old and you got millions of comments every day shitting on you, telling you everything you're doing wrong and this, that, the other thing, that you would still want to like get on that app and be a person? Because I don't think anybody would want to be doing that when everybody is constantly shitting down your throat about every move that you make. And then you not taking a look in the mirror and being like, well, if everybody followed me around constantly, I'd probably not look like the best person 24/7 too.
Yeah.
Nobody is the best person 24/7.
Right.
It's just not realistically possible. You're a fraud if you say you are.
And you also make mistakes at that age all the time.
Absolutely. You're 16 years old. No 16-year-old has it all figured out.
It's the same with, I mean, Britney, she was so young when all this was happening too. Like she was that age. Like she was so young when she was dating Justin Timberlake, and to have that kind of be the whole story around that, you realize everyone's like, everybody thinks of the denim outfit and Britney and Justin, iconic couple, the whole thing. Don't realize that towards the end of that, like, they made Britney look so bad. Justin made Britney look so bad. The whole Cry Me River music video with the Britney like look-alike, and she cheated and she became the bad guy, and everyone criticized her for it and everything. She was so young. So I mean, it's just, I think this is just the beginning of more stories like this to come out. Like, I just feel like we haven't fully seen a ton of documentaries about Britney. And I think after this, there's going to be an avalanche of people talking about the Free Britney movement in ways like this.
Absolutely, because there's so much more that we don't know. There's so much more to be uncovered. Obviously, her dad has a big part in controlling her life, and you see that because think about Christina Aguilera, right? She wasn't as famous as Britney Spears, but she was up there. Yeah. You know, she was a pop star in the same era as Britney Spears.
Right, it was always Britney or Christina.
Right, yeah. And she's fine.
Yeah.
So what happened here?
Yeah.
Some people in Britney's life did something to Britney Spears, and that's just become obvious. It's just obvious because if you watch the videos of her as a young woman, she was fine.
Yeah. Never forget Britney's son calling Jamie, what'd you call him, a dick? What'd you call him?
Or an asshole, something.
Yeah.
Slowly deteriorated.
Grandpa's a dick, something like that.
Because of the people surrounding her, manipulating her life.
Yeah. Yep. It's really, really awful.
Valentine's Day is coming up, and let's be real. We know some of you are going to see some dicks out there. We know some of you are going to see some balls. Some of you may own a pair. Some of you may be the ones wheeling those things around. Either way, I know that you don't want to be looking like a mess down in that area. You want to be nicely groomed. Listen, I'm not saying cut it all off, shave it all off. I think that looks, like you're a little boy. Have a little bit if you'd like. Or don't, whatever, your choice. But make it clean, make it nice, make it smell nice, make it look good. Don't make people turned off when they go down on you and all of a sudden they smell your fucking gross balls.
No thanks.
And they're like, I don't want to put my mouth on that. I'm not putting my mouth on those things. And it's Valentine's Day. Then the whole mood is ruined. Or they do go ahead and put their mouth on that. But then they text all their friends after and they're like, I just gave the most disgusting blowjob because this guy's balls and his dick were all hairy and disgusting and not groomed. Don't be that guy. Use Manscaped.
Don't let your guy be that guy.
Yeah, or don't let your guy be that guy. If you've been thinking in your head that your guy's being that guy lately, get him the Perfect Package 3.0. It comes with the lawnmower that will, shape you up nice. It comes with the Crop Reviver, make you smell good. It's the Perfect Package 3.0 from Manscaped to make sure that your dick and balls are intact, looking nice and fresh for Valentine's Day.
You know what else I love that they have? The nose trimmer.
Oh, well, yeah, that's, that if we're not talking about dick and balls.
I know, but the whole package, when you get the whole care package, the nose trimmer, fantastic. Because sometimes guys don't realize that they got to control that.
Right. Sometimes their nose hairs are falling out of their nose, and it looks like the guy from Wild Thornberrys. So we don't want that to happen. But the lawnmower, it's a great trimmer. It's got the high-tech advanced technology to make sure, you're not going to cut yourself using it. It's going to be nice. It's going to shape you up nice. And also, like I said, the Crop Preserver and the Crop Reviver, which will make you smell good. So right now, get 20% off and free shipping with the code CHICKS at manscaped.com. That's 20% off at manscaped.com using code CHICKS. Once again, manscaped.com. Use code CHICKS for 20% off for the Perfect Package 3.0 for this Valentine's Day and beyond. Okay, before we get into this topic, I just want to put a little trigger warning out there. We're going to dive into everything that's going on with Armie Hammer. We're going to talk about all of his allegations, and you know what that entails. So and
Marilyn Manson.
And so just want to throw that out there. If you're not comfortable with listening, then skip past this part. So obviously, over the past few weeks or so, more Armie Hammer details about his abuse and things he did to multiple women have come out. Multiple ex-girlfriends have spoken about it. More and more has been revealed, and it's bad. It is really bad. It's not a joke. It's not
horrific human.
He seems like a really terrible human being at this point. When everything first came out, I will say that, of course, it was kind of like a whoa, almost like, like we always say, laugh because you're so shocked by it. He's being like, I'm 100% accountable, and you're reading that. You're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you know, it was whoa, I can't even, oh my God. Now it's reached the point where it's so bad that Armie Hammer has been dropped by his agency and his publicist. And if you're dropped by your publicist, there's some shit coming out about you that you cannot be saved from. Right. He's done for. Now, there are many rumors and speculations, and on Dumois, many posts that have said that there will be an article coming out about Armie Hammer that he will never, ever, ever be able to come back from.
Yeah.
Now, at this point, when I saw many people saying, what I just said, Armie Hammer was dropped by his publicist, that must mean something bad is going to happen. At first, I thought, what could be worse? Like there's multiple abuse and rape allegations. He's saying he's a cannibal. Is that not enough for his publicist to drop him? Is that not enough for his agency to drop him? Not. Apparently there's something coming out about him that is so much worse than we could ever even imagine.
Yeah.
That if it's not the fact that he like murdered somebody and has their body in his freezer, like I'm going to be shocked. Because at this point, it seems like it's going to be really bad.
Yeah, it's now just fact that he is an absolutely awful, abusive, terrible human who is like who's got all of these issues, and all of these women that have spoke out against him have continued to talk about it, and people, it's just crazy that these women speaking about it over the past few weeks was still not enough for people to really say like, oh, he'll never come back from this. You know, I think there was still like, oh, well, he wasn't dropped by his agency, or he wasn't dropped by his, so it's like, maybe, you know, he'll just lay low for a while and come back. And it's sick. It's sick that it was what people were saying, because it's like, he could have potentially gotten away with that, which is so terrifying, especially for all of these women. And so now there are these rumors that there's, you know, like you said, some groundbreaking, insane report that's supposed to come out that, you know, he'll be done for good. And that does kind of match up with the fact that it was only over the past few days that he was publicly dropped by his agency and things like that. And now I would have to imagine that this would put him in jail. I don't know. It's just like, I don't know where else there is to go. Like, it's already been so bad that how much, I guess it's going to be so, and even worse, which is so terrifying to think of. You know, the Effie, who's one of the girls that originally spoke out and had started this whole thing, House of Effie on Instagram, she's continued to post about him and post about, you know, do Q&As and talking about her experience with him, and all endless screenshots of messages between the two of them. And she had posted on her story like, wow, I just found out what this story is that's coming out about him. So bad. Can't believe it. I'm sick to my stomach. I feel like I'm going to throw up. I'm with my family right now. Like, and for her to say that, like, this has got to be horrifyingly bad.
Like I said, if he does not have a body in his freezer, I'll be shocked.
It's just,
because at that, and I'm not saying I want it to be something so bad like that, but what can be worse than what has already come out about him? The abuse and rape allegations. Like, how murder? He's actually a cannibal. He's actually been feasting on girls' toes. Yeah. Like, that's like, I don't know what else. I mean, I guess it's more so like when it's printed in, you know, like the New York Times or the LA Times or something like that, then it becomes like solid evidence, and it's not like, you know,
speculation, internet rumors.
It becomes like real deal. Yeah. So I guess maybe that's kind of maybe what people are alluding to. Like, it will really get him in trouble, but he should have already been getting in trouble before that. We already knew that. So it will be interesting to see what it is that comes out about him. It's weird, man. Like, Armie Hammer, it's weird.
I want that guy to rot.
Obviously. And also, it's just weird to think about. You know, like, this guy who I think Hollywood was trying to shape into like a leading man, right?
Totally.
He was he wasn't the leading man, but it seemed like he was getting that way. You know, he's been in a few movies. People liked him. Girls liked him. He's obviously a good looking guy. So he was an attractive human being that you could make into a leading man. Not anymore. No. He's done for. His career's done. He'll never work in Hollywood again.
I hope so.
I know. I fully, firmly believe he will never work in Hollywood again. You can't. You cannot say I'm 100% accountable and cut off women's toes and then work in Hollywood. It's not going to work that way. But are there people working in Hollywood that already do that we don't know about? I'm sure there are more people like Armie Hammer that we don't know about. Because it's not just Armie Hammer. It's not. It's more than we know.
Yeah.
And I watched a YouTube video yesterday. This is not an actor, but Dan Schneider from Nickelodeon, right? Yeah, he was such a creep. All these things, all these.
Dan Schneider is still working.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's crazy because he got paid to just like leave Nickelodeon. They gave him millions of dollars to just ride off. We're not going to talk about any of your allegations. We're not going to do it. We're just going to, see you later. So think about the amount of people who may be like a Dan Schneider, where, okay, he's still allowed to work, even though there's so much proof against him being a fucking freak and a bad person. And then
that's why I can't positively say that he'll never work again.
But I think there's a difference, and there shouldn't be, but there's a difference with someone like Dan Schneider, who's not a front-facing guy, where it's like he can work behind the scenes and nobody will know.
Right?
Like he can work, and because listen, Dan Schneider, very bad guy. I'm not taking that away from him. Terrible, terrible guy. If you look up YouTube videos, you can find out about it. He created at least 20 fucking iconic shows, right? So he can work behind the scenes, not put his name on anything, and still get paid for it because he's not a front-facing guy who's going to be put on on camera. I'm not saying that should happen. I'm just saying that's something that probably may be happening behind the scenes that we don't know about and we'll never know about. With Armie Hammer, he's an actor. His face is what makes him money. He's on the screen. If he's in a movie, people are not. They're going to say fuck that movie. That guy's a cannibal. He's an abuser. He's all these things. We can't put him on camera. So I think there's a little difference there between somebody like Dan Schneider who works behind the scenes where he can get away with like fucking doing something like that. Whereas Armie Hammer, his career, he's gonna be a broke ass guy living on the fucking street somewhere. I hope.
I hope so.
Or in jail. Like whatever comes out about him.
Yeah.
Maybe he should probably be in jail.
Yeah, you just hope that the trends of Hollywood shift and that this is bad enough. It already is bad enough, but that is bad enough that he doesn't get any more opportunities because historically there have been plenty of leading men who have gotten into trouble or have been accused of abuse who have continued to go about their lives like nothing happened. So hopefully this is enough for him to, that we never have to see his freaking face again.
We didn't talk about the shit about Marilyn Manson this weekend, which, by the way, if you're shocked about that, Marilyn Manson, you should have known, was a freak.
Yeah. Well, and that's why, there's just, because it's been a lot of conversation about, like, the BDSM relationships and things like that, and how everyone's like, well, now, if that's what they wanted to do, like, okay, but you can still cross a line in those situations where what you're doing has entered into abuse territory. Like Evan Rachel Wood said she was groomed by this guy, was like just totally controlled by him. There was no breaking out. And there's been other women that have come out to agree with her and say that they've had similar situations. So, and he still can put out a statement like, oh no, it was consensual and everything was fine and the whole thing. It's gross. It's bullshit. You just gotta put Evan Rachel Wood is telling the truth. That's it.
And I also think like you said with the BDSM and then the consent non-consent thing.
Yeah.
And these are people's kinks and it's what they're into. But at what point is it people using the word kink as an excuse to abuse people?
Yeah.
Right? Like
if
the thing that turns you on is abusing people and pretending like you're raping them.
Yeah.
At what point is that like you're a bad person? Because I hate that it's like, because we don't kink shame. People are into weird things or into different things. You let them do what they want to do.
Yeah, but boundaries are broken.
But at some point it's like, if that's what turns you on, though, what's good?
Yeah.
You know, what's good in your brain?
Yeah.
If that's what you're into.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, and it's very clear that boundaries, rules were broken. Safe words are set up. They're not acknowledged. They're not used. And
right.
And we've had all those stories. Effie has talked about that a bunch of times. Yeah. With Armie Hammer, and it's.
I saw some guy tweet. Like, oh, Armie Hammer's not allowed to be a person with different fetishes now. And I literally almost quoted him, right? Dude, just say you're cannibal and move along.
Yeah,
like what do you mean? Like, he was like, oh, so Armie Hammer's not allowed to be like a human being now? Like, not quite sure. Human beings just go around telling everyone that they want to chop their toes off and keep them in their pocket. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I don't do that, but I don't know about you.
Yeah, and it's not even it's like less the cannibal shit for me and more just like he just almost brainwashed these people. Like you know, like I mean, it's just
the cannibalism is just something we've never heard of before
of course.
In this circumstance.
Of course.
But yeah, like brainwashing, manipulating, like grooming, making women think.
This is a narcissistic.
And people love their abusers. It's something that we've seen before, you know, because they are manipulated and, like you said, brainwashed into thinking that like person's
Rachel Wood.
That person's the end all be all. That person's the God, because they make them think that I'm your God, you worship me, that's that. And then when they finally get out of it, it's like all of a sudden now they're deemed like a bad person because they once agreed with that person. Yeah. Meanwhile, they were being brainwashed and manipulated. You know what I mean? You can't be like, well, they wanted it. You know,
Stockholm syndrome.
Right, right. Yeah. It's like I see some people, which if you're defending Armie Hammer, you must be a bad person. But some people are, and they're saying, well, these girls, they said Armie Hammer can do those things to me. And it's like, well, at what point was it that Armie Hammer was manipulating and brainwashing these girls?
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. It's just when you build up, that's all the whole point. You build up that relationship, you build up that trust, you get them to, it's all mind games until it reaches a point where these women are able to break free of him and look back at it and think, that was not what I wanted to be doing. And that's what they're saying, and that's what they're talking about. So I hope Armie gets fucking plucked off whatever island he's on. Like, it's ridiculous that he is living his life like a normal guy wherever he is. And I feel like he's still in the Cayman Islands. So I don't know. It's, Elizabeth Chambers had put out a statement in the, last, I think it was like last week too, where it was just like, this is a lot. These women, she was just totally unaware of all this. She's like, my priority is my kids right now, which obviously very understandable. You kind of have to come to terms with the fact that this guy is the father of your children.
It's insane.
Yeah. It's we're not quite sure when this is coming out, where this is coming out, but it does seem like there's been enough people talking about it that it is concrete enough that it will happen. So look out for that in the next week, I think. Aaron Rodgers won the NFL MVP this weekend, and late Saturday night, he just dropped that he was engaged. He just said in his acceptance video, 2020, crazy year, up and downs, got engaged, then just continued talking. And at the end, he said because it was funny, the amount of guys that I saw on Twitter being like, no, he meant like he got engaged. Like he was focused. Like he was locked down, focused. I'm like, oh, for the love of God. Like he straight up, he says, my fiance at the end. I'm like, okay, so you clearly didn't watch the whole video. Like it's people who just see the caption and seeing girls being like, oh my God, Aaron Rodgers says he got engaged. And they're like, no, he got engaged. Like he fucking
engaged in the game.
Engaged in the field. Like it's like, no, he says he got engaged
to the game.
He talked about a fiance. He's, thanking all these people and then thanked my fiance. And I guess that woman is Shailene Woodley. We don't know for sure. He hasn't come out and said, this is my fiance, Shailene Woodley. But there have been rumors for months. And this past week, it was confirmed. Sources spoke to the media outlets saying that, Shailene Woodley and Aaron Rodgers have been together. It's low-key romance. They've kept things under wraps, kept things pretty private. clearly they did a phenomenal job because now they're engaged. Credit to whatever people these two have got working behind the scenes. Like, it was a perfect beginning of the week. All right, now we're ready. Like, let's leak this. We're dating. All right, we're dating. Like, all right, we're dating. And then maybe Aaron didn't know for sure. At least I don't think they get a heads up if you're winning MVP. But also he also had to make a video package accepting the award. So maybe he did. Like, of him being like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna all 1 week. We'll let all the rumors just pack it into 1 week. We're dating. Oh, just kidding. Now we're engaged.
I have no idea where this came from. I literally have no idea where this came from.
Where did they even meet?
Aaron Rodgers and Shailene Woodley, literally last week it was they're dating. Now they're engaged. I don't know how it moved that fast. Good for them, though. Like, good for... I talked about how I didn't really care about either of them in some way. Like, I do love some things that Shailene Woodley has been in. And you know, Aaron Rodgers, arguably, you know, one of the best football players. Cool. Good for them, the both of them. But as a couple, I just did not see coming together, first of all. And also, like, that this many people would care. Yeah. Like, so many people care that Shailene Woodley and Aaron Rodgers are engaged. Tell me why, Fran. Tell me why.
Well, I have one thing. No. Not
Rodgers. Even that they're engaged. That they were dating. Because when we posted it on Instagram, so many comments about them dating.
Yeah.
Why? Enlighten me. Enlighten
me.
You
the football love's not there for you. Aaron Rodgers is, I think there's a lot of mystery in the football world around Aaron Rodgers and his dating life.
He dates everybody.
No, but that's he dates these people, but you don't really know anything like
Olivia
in
Munn,
that detail.
Danica Patrick.
Yes, but like you've had Olivia Munn allude to him being like bad in the bedroom. Like you've had there's been a lot of speculation. We just don't know a lot about Aaron Rodgers' private life. It's the same thing with like his family drama. We know that he doesn't talk to his family really that much, and Jordan and Luke are close, and you know there's Jordan and JoJo and they see their parents and whatnot, but something went down where there's like a weird Rodgers family divide that nobody really knows what that is. So I think there's so much mystery around it that people are intrigued. And as much as you know there's Tom Brady as far as NFL heartthrobs go. Tom Brady's going to be number one on everyone's list, but Aaron Rodgers is up there for a lot of people. You're making a face at me like you don't get it, but I'm just letting you know that it's definitely
I'm
a fact.
not even making the face about Aaron Rodgers. I was just like,
but it's just, and I also just think it's so random. Like, because it's so random, people are even more intrigued by it because it's like, wait a second, Aaron Rodgers and Shailene Woodley? Because I think arguably more people might know, the older generation perhaps, might know like Olivia Munn, Danica Patrick, like Shailene Woodley. If you don't watch Big Little Lies, if you're not like too invested in movies and things like that, you might not know who she is. So it's
people
like,
don't know who Shailene Woodley is?
I had some people in the office. Some people in the office didn't know who she was. Some of the guys.
That's disrespectful.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know, not everybody got to enjoy Secret Life of the American Teenager.
Spectacular Now, great movie.
Yeah.
So many.
Fault in Our Stars. I mean, yeah, they're like
Big Little Lies, like you said.
Yeah, exactly.
Good shows.
So I think that it's just piqued a lot of people's interest because we had no idea that this was happening, and they must have been together all of 2020, and this was the thing, like, because of lockdown and all of these things, you could get away with going out somewhere and hiding out and not being seen and no one knowing you're together. It almost seems like that may have happened with them, that they had been together, and then there were some rumors this summer that they were together or dating, or she had been seen in Green Bay or something or other. Then the fall started happening more. Casey and I talked about on the Dime Package, it was like these two were dating. Shailene Woodley, Aaron Rodgers dating. And there was still no like E-News, Aaron Rodgers is dating Shailene Woodley until this week. This is the first time that it's happened where it came out in the mainstream media. So people had not heard of it.
Good for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people didn't know who would settle down with. But it might not be too soon. They might have been together for like a year.
Getting engaged in a year is too soon.
Well, it is. But I mean, the people do it. It's celebrities. They're celebrities.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We have a great interview with Priyanka Chopra Jonas, and you guys are going to see, like we said, I don't want to hype it up even more, but if you're watching on YouTube, her setup is unbelievable. There's a fireplace going. It's just the lighting. It's like, damn, that it just makes you want to sit back, relax, and honestly, drink a Coors Light. It's just the best way to take a moment for yourself. There's a lot going on. We're busy people. We have to remember to take care of ourselves. We have to remember to give ourselves some me time. So if we want that me time, open your fridge, make sure you got them all cold in there. Coors Light is cold filtered, cold lagered, cold packaged. So it is ready to go, literally made to chill. The only beer that is made to chill. You can grab it, sit back, relax, enjoy it. You can listen to this show. You can just, you can watch some sports. You could just read a book. You could just take a moment to yourself where you're doing absolutely nothing. Just literally to chill, alone, moment of silence, to just relax. It's what we like to do, because when we're done talking, we're talking a lot on the podcast, running our mouths. We go home, we want to sit in silence, watch TV. We don't have to speak to anybody. So we put a Coors Light in our hand and we are good to go. You can get Coors Light in their new design delivered right to your home. Their new look, you can get it straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart. That's why Coors Light is the beer that we choose when we need a moment to unwind. And always, guys, remember to celebrate responsibly. It's coming from the Coors Brewing Company in Golden, Colorado.
All right, everyone, we are here with a very special guest, Priyanka Chopra Jonas. She has been on this show before and, was not Jonas attached to it. Yeah. And now we added that to the end. So welcome back. It's great to see you again, and we're excited to have you on the show.
Thanks, guys. So good to see y'all.
I know.
I feel like it's been a while. It feels like so much happened from the last time I met you to now.
Well, definitely. From the first time we met, we were in our old office. That was it feels like a lifetime ago. And, since then we've gotten to share some pretty cool moments. This is the first time we've really gotten to talk to you since, obviously now we have COVID, so everything's been shut down. But before those times when we were allowed to go to concerts and have fun and have those moments, we were with you at a Jonas show. We were at Penn State. We were having the time of our lives.
Oh my gosh, those nights that I don't remember.
We were actually just on Zoom with Sam Hewen, so we just interviewed him, and you just did a movie with him, and we brought it up. We were like, oh, we have Priyanka right after this. You just did a movie together, and he was like, yeah, she loves tequila, and I was like, yeah, we know, we've seen it.
Well, especially when your husband has his own tequila, so yep. I'm just like, it's always at home, Yeah. Can't help but love it.
Right, you're a spokesperson for it now.
It's all in the family, man. It's all in the family.
Right.
Exactly. Well, we're very excited to have you back on because you have your book coming out, your memoir. It's titled Unfinished. When this interview airs, the book will be coming out tomorrow. So it's very, very exciting. I'm sure tons of people have been pre-ordering it, waiting for it to arrive at their door. But tell us a little bit about the book, why you started writing it, and what we're gonna kind of learn about you from this.
Well, it was 20 years for me in the movie industry, in the entertainment business, and I wanted to commemorate it. And I had always wanted to write a book, but I was scared of it. A book is a mammoth task, and but 20 years, I was like, come on, you got to wear your big girl pants and do this. And then I decided that the easiest thing to write would be a memoir. I was so wrong, because writing about your life is so not easy, because first of all, I didn't remember half of it. Like I had to call people in my memories and be like, wait, what happened? This happened? And then I had to corroborate memories. But I wrote this pretty much during quarantine. It was a daunting time for all of us and everyone was home. And I think that made me extremely vulnerable, maybe it helped me drop my guard a little bit. I didn't expect to write this book. And if I'd written it at any other time, it probably would not have been this book, I dug in deeper than I expected myself to. I kind of wrote like it was a journal, and I had to pull a few stories out. In fact, I was like, oh my God, no. But I was ready now at a time in my life where I felt sort of content, secure, not chased by the demons of my teenage years or of my childhood and of my early career maybe. And I think I just hope that people who know me get their hands on it, maybe get to know me more than a headline or a meme or an Instagram story. And people who don't know me, I hope they just get to see that, I'm a very self-made person. I come from a very unassuming background and from a small town in India. And, if I can build a career on my back with my blood, sweat, and tears, then I think anyone can.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're really excited to read it. Do you feel like it was a therapeutic experience for you?
I think it was healing more than therapeutic. I heard a lot of people saying that, writing your memoir is super therapeutic. It's cathartic. But I think to me, it healed so many things about myself that I don't think I'd even thought about or dealt with or always afraid of talking about. And I think to do it on my own terms, my own time, my own words, took the power away from all the things I was afraid of. And it healed a lot of me, I think.
What about the title of the memoir? Because Unfinished it's kind of a funny title for a memoir, because you kind of think that someone who writes a memoir, they're like, oh, this is my life, this is my full life. But to me, seeing Unfinished is like, hey, this is only part of it. I got a ton left still.
I mean, I think you're right. I'm glad you picked up on that because, I'm in my 30s and I'm nowhere close to achieving everything that I want to achieve, but I've also achieved a lot that I didn't set out to achieve. So, this was a great time to kind of take stock of how I felt about as a woman, as a person, with the journey that I've made, with my achievements, with, the things that I've created for myself. And when I read the manuscript for the first time, I remember I was very emotional and I kind of forgave myself for, running so fast. And I forgave myself for my mistakes and my failures when I overreacted, or I was just like, you know what? Life has never been easy for anyone, and it's always a journey of mountains and valleys, and it's what you have to show at the end of it that matters. And I'm really glad that, the trajectory and the choices that I made for myself, good, bad, and ugly, just brought me to the place that I am today.
Yeah.
Right. And it's also something that many people can maybe relate to, right? You write about something that you're like, I can't believe I'm putting this out there, but then somebody else reads it and they're like, wow, Priyanka went through this, and it makes them feel better as well.
I hope so. I mean, I know it happens to me when I, read about other people's experiences. You don't feel that alone. You feel like, there's someone else out there who also has similar problems. And I hope that happens with whoever reads the book.
Yeah. How long was the process of writing it all, start to finish?
Well, start to finish would be 2.5 years, but actually really writing it may have been 6-7 months, I think. I kind of did milestones. I kind of had a structure of, this is how I started, my earliest memories. And I actually didn't know how to structure a book. And my co-author, Nan Satter, really helped me do it well because, she told me, all right, think about, what is your earliest memory? And then let's build from there. And I kind of had done that foundation work in those 2 years. But when I really, the meat of it was during quarantine, having the time to do it, actually not being on a plane or not having somewhere to go and, just sitting on my couch and looking out at LA in the morning with, a beverage and a snack. Right.
Well, you do seem like, and I'm sure you had a lot of time then, but now it feels like you have a lot going on, a lot happening. Not only do you have your book coming out, The White Tiger was just released on Netflix and everyone is raving about it. It's fantastic. And on top of that, like, I think, are you in London right now? this beautiful.
I am in London right now.
So like your beautiful London setting, and
I can't get enough of it.
I know.
I talked about it before we started. She's got the
It's almost-
fireplace in the background. She's glowing.
I'm almost like zoning out when she talks.
Same.
I'm like, yes.
I feel like you're reading us a bedtime
me
story.
more.
You know, because when you like go on YouTube at night, or at least I
It
do
could
this.
be on
like,
the Calm app. You should be on the Calm app, Priyanka.
or like ASMR.
I am on the Calm
You are
app.
on
You
the-
should hear my story.
Oh my! Of course you are.
Perfect. Done. Perfect.
As I'm saying, the woman who does it all. Of course, she's already on the Calm
Of course, she's on
app.
the Calm app. We should have known that. No, it's a beautiful background, and obviously you look gorgeous. And like France,
But I was just saying, so like you have so much going on and so many new things coming out. And I was catching up on some of the interviews you've done this past week, and you're in London now for this whole year, right?
Yeah, for this whole year. I just finished the movie with Sam. It's called Text for You. And that finished early January. And now I've started training for Citadel, which is my Amazon show with Richard Madden that's coming up. We start filming in end of February. So that's happening, like you said, the White Tiger. It's just, it's a lot of things, but, and it's a really busy time. But I have to keep reminding myself when I'm up at like 1:00 in the morning doing promo that I'm like tired, and to keep reminding myself, well, you asked for this. You wanted all of these things. So now you got to work for it.
Right. It's like, feel like it's the complete opposite of how sometimes in 2020 were, when you were just like begging to have something to do. And now you have so much to do, but you're in London. How has the travel been? Because have you been going back to LA at all, or like, because you're a married woman, it's got to be hard now to try and stay connected in separate locations, especially when it's harder to travel and different restrictions and things like that.
I mean, it's really hard to travel, and but Nick and I always had such crazy individual careers that we really had to make an effort to meet each other anyway.
Right.
But 2020 really gave us the time to actually be with each other. My heart's full of having this much time, the whole year to be, with my husband. And when I moved to London, end of 2020, he moved here. I mean, he came here for about a month or so that we could be together in the holidays, and he could set me up, and now he's gone back for The Voice and should be back soon at some point. I mean, he can come in and out, but because I'm on the show for such a long time and UK is in a full lockdown, I can't really leave at the moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And like you said, I mean, quarantine must have been really nice to just be able to spend that time together. They're on tour, you're filming, you guys have such busy lives, always on a plane, traveling, that it must have been nice to just settle down, enjoy, it wasn't like you got married years ago, new marriage. So it seems like it was a good thing. And you got a puppy, right?
Yes, we did, our third.
Yeah.
I have one called Diana, and then I gave Nick one, Gino, last year. Mm-hmm. And, we had got a quarantine puppy. His name is Panda, and he's adorable.
Yeah.
He has one blue eye and one brown eye, and I'm a very proud dog mom.
Oh, the dogs are so cute. I mean, the videos, this was even pre that, but like the videos of you surprising Nick with Gino are so cute. That's just like, everybody loves watching a father-son dog relationship start. It's always
they're inseparable. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, we love that. I hope so. That's really, really sweet. And like Rhea said, you guys got to spend a lot of time together. And was there anything that you guys learned about each other in COVID that you didn't know about each other before in your relationship? Like was there something you were like, wow, I didn't know that about you. Now that's something new.
Nick, I mean, I kind of knew that, but I just didn't know he was very consistent with doing this. But he does not freak out in situations when I freak out. He has this innate ability to and I'm a storm in a teacup. Like, I'm just like, at any given moment. Mm-hmm. But he has this amazing sense of calm, which it surprises me every time I see it. And I think it has really rubbed off on me in a big way. I have really easy energy. I'm super chill now. I don't storm out a teacup very often.
I feel that, honestly. Like, me and my boyfriend are the same way, where I'm like, like you just said, like, oh, and he's just like so calm that now I'm like, all right, I'm chill now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a good way to balance. And, so many people are locked into what you're doing right now. The White Tiger is huge. It's been trending on Netflix. Tons and tons of people are watching it. What was your experience making this movie? Because I believe you also produced this movie, correct?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, so cool.
I actually chased after it, and I'm having an emotional meltdown at the fact that The White Tiger is, the number one movie worldwide on Netflix, which is the largest streaming platform in the world. And Alec, why I'm having a meltdown is because it's an all Indian star cast. Getting a reception like this around the world is historic. We haven't seen that. And that was my quest when I started working in America, is to be able to be a part of mainstream entertainment, to see people who look like me get opportunities in mainstream entertainment. And, The White Tiger as a producer is one of my dreams come true because of that reason. I hope it's the beginning of a massive wind of change where we get to see stories from around the world, because that's how content is being consumed. The White Tiger was seen in 160 countries around the world. Wow. So we've got to be able to make movies that cater to every type of person in the world. South Asians are 1/5 of the world's population, but we never ever see that kind of representation in entertainment. And hence my emotional meltdown.
Yeah, no, but absolutely, you're right. It's amazing to see. It's awesome. It's, like you said, number one worldwide on Netflix. Did you expect it to do this, or are you in complete shock by what's happening?
I chased after this movie. Yeah. I read the book in 2008. I forgot about it. I remember the profound effect it had on me. Mm-hmm. But after that, when I read on Twitter, actually, that the movie was being adapted, I called my agents. I remember my acting coach at the time, Rebecca Kitt, she had told me, there's a really interesting part of a girl in this. I called my agents really quickly and I said, please offer my services. I want to be able to support this movie because I know what happens to films which are diverse and which have, people that are diverse stories. And I was like, I don't want this movie to be pigeonholed into a type of cinema. It's not. That's not the intention of the story. That's not the intention of the book. The book, it's sort of self-reflection of society. When is the last time you've driven past a homeless person and not looked at them? Or a homeless shelter and not done anything about it? The movie is about the desensitization of privileged people against the people who don't have that privilege. And it was such a universal story for me that I really chased after it. I auditioned for it 2 or 3 times. I met Ramin in Mumbai, in New York, in LA. And then, I'm glad I got the job because I always believed in the universality of this story. But this kind of reception, no, I could have never imagined that. But I knew that it would be beyond expected, but this is amazing.
Yeah, we've only, seen great things about it. You're fantastic in the movie. I think that there's a lot of buzz around how great you are in this movie. So I think that's really, really exciting and really exciting for people to watch, because it also, like you said, representation, it matters so much. And seeing you in a movie like this could open people's eyes to so many of the other things that you are doing. And all these shows, like I said, so busy. You just finished this movie that you had just mentioned with Sam Heughan and Celine Dion, which sounds fantastic. How we were kind of joking before we came on and being like, should we just tell Priyanka that Sam was like, oh, she was so hard to work with? Because in reality, he was like, she is the best. Yeah. We loved her. She's the best. Like, we had so much fun doing that movie together, which, of course, we assumed.
He also said that you probably have some pictures on your phone of him that he doesn't want to be seen anywhere, and I think you should show him.
But I think it was from the dinner that we had when we wrapped. It was just the 5, 6 of us because we're in a bubble at
Yeah.
the moment. And let's just say Sam has his own whiskey and Nick was there and Nick has his own tequila and the night got kind of loose.
That can be the whiskey tequila can be quite a deadly combination.
Yeah, deadly duo.
The picture I think he's talking about is one we had all of these like tiaras and like New Year's things just because it was, it was a new year. And he's wearing all that stuff, and Nick is in the background while I'm taking the picture, checking his phone. It's such a funny, surreal image.
Oh man! Well, it sounds like you guys had a great time. I gotta ask you about Celine Dion because working with Celine Dion has just got to be incredible. She's an icon.
I mean, can you imagine? This is Celine's first acting. This is her acting debut.
That's insane.
How psyched are you? I'm so excited about that. Cannot give away anything about the diva because that's all contained for the movie. But it was so fun. I went into Text for You from The Matrix 4 and they were two completely opposite movies. And, just going from one iconic kind of thing to Celine it was so wonderful. I'm just really excited about the variety of things that I have going on at the moment.
Yeah, it's really cool and awesome to see. And like you said, the book is coming out tomorrow, like we said when this airs.
Yep.
I want to go back to that for a second. Do you think that there's anything in the book that that you put in there that you're nervous for people to read about? Like one thing specifically that you don't have to tell us, but are you like thinking like, oh no, when people read this, I'm nervous?
Are you kidding me? There's at least like 8 things that I'm nervous about.
Yeah, that's more than I expected, but I love to hear it.
8 things I've never spoken about and I probably will never speak about because if I wanted to have a conversation around it, I would have spoken about it.
Right,
I don't. That's why I wrote it in the book.
Yeah.
You read the book and don't ever bring it up to me.
So we know that next time we talk to you, we just won't bring up anything in the book. No, but it's good though because it's real and it's honest, and that's what people want to see. They just want to know more about you.
Yeah. Can I ask?
I'm telling you, I've gotten away with being, I'm a public person for more than half my life, and a lot of people think they know you, the ones that do, and I've gotten away with it for a very long time with just showing a very small part of myself to people and never really digging in deep, and it's okay because my Instagram, I'm like taking pictures and whatever, but it's never really deep.
Yeah.
You never get to know that side of me. And I've always been very protective and private about that. But this got ahead of me a little bit. And, I think that I was ready to address a lot of those things, but at the same time, I'm petrified. I'm terrified of it.
Yeah, it's definitely scary. And I think that sometimes when you write one thing down that you're a little scared about, it just all starts coming. And all of a sudden you're writing.
Exactly.
You're right. And you're like, I'm writing it. I don't know. Why am I writing this down?
But that happened to me the first thing that I was writing down, and I was like, oh shit, should I be writing this? Or can I be writing this? And then I had to step back and I said, if I don't just write it, I'm always going to second guess myself because that's been my whole life about what I can talk about, what I want to talk about, what I want to discuss, what I want to publicly be, and what I said, I'd never be true to the book. So my way of writing the book was writing everything. And then I edited it. Took out a bunch of stuff that I didn't want in there and left the rest. So it's a very raw, real rendition of my memories, I guess, with a few things missing.
Yeah. And I feel like, like you said, if you want to write this book and you want people to know who you are on the inside and they want to get to know the real you, and then if you're writing stuff and you're like, no, I'm not going to put that in there. No, I'm not going to put that in there. Oh, I'm not going to put that in there. Then it just becomes, it's not really you.
Yeah. It's a shell of it. Yeah.
It's better to just let it out.
And it's sort of manufactured. Then it's like, it's like a manufactured story.
Right.
It's fiction, maybe.
Right.
I really, really wanted it to be as I remember it.
Right.
As close to as I remember it. And I hope my memory is not skewed in a few places.
With a little tequila mixed in.
Yeah.
Well, the cover of the book is stunning. It's a beautiful photo of you. And, you know, I'm curious because so many people don't. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
there it is.
there it is.
So many people do change their name. They don't change their name. You are now Priyanka Chopra Jonas. And that's, you know, I feel like it feels real when you see it on the cover of your memoir. It's like, all right, that's me now.
The first time I saw it, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So what?
Oh, okay. That's like my name.
That's my name now.
me.
That's me. So
I'm married.
Yeah. Like, was that a discussion, or was it like I'm gonna change my name? Because so many, you know, a lot of people in Hollywood don't change their names.
And I think I never changed my name.
Yeah.
I added his name to mine.
Right. Correct.
You know, and I felt like I wanted to sort of honor traditions, but at the same time, I didn't want to let go of my identity.
Of course.
You know, and this was my in between, I guess. I inherited a beautiful name, and I hope to live up to its legacy. And, you know, it's just, I think it was one of those like things that you've grown up with. And a part of me hopes that we are a world 50 years later where, you know, the conversation is different, where, you know, girls are not raised or think about that. I was never forced into it, but it was just something that I wanted
of course,
to
but
do
there's still so many women who think they have to change their
Yeah.
name, you know.
Yeah, and we have to, like, maybe hopefully in another 50 years, it'll be guys taking our names too, or just not changing our names, you know?
Yep.
And that'll be normalized. But I don't think I was at that place when I got married. I kind of wanted to, you know, honor my parents' tradition, and that's just how it happened. But my identity has been mine for so many years that there was no way that my last name would have been lost.
Right, exactly. So now you got the good 3 names together. It's beautiful. The full Priyanka Chopra Jonas, and we're going to see it on the cover. Priyanka, hopefully.
But you're right. When I first saw it, I was like, oh.
Who is that?
And your parents are like,
That is so funny. But it is, like I said, the cover is stunning. So hopefully everybody goes out, buys the book, reads it. I think everyone is going to love it. And Priyanka, hopefully we see you soon in a back room at Champs. I'm just hoping
Penn State.
One day we'll be able to break out of all of these restrictions when that day comes and we can celebrate, because honestly, that's the way I would like to celebrate going back to real life at a Jonas Brothers concert.
I want to meet you at Champs. Yes, I want to be at a concert. I just want to be out, you know. I want to meet people. I miss friends. I miss like just hanging out. I miss Champs, and I thought I'd say that. The next morning, I wanted to never ever remember Champ.
me too.
Us,
like a truck hit me.
I puked the whole day the next day at work.
Just a quick tidbit. We actually, it was during the week. It was a weekday, and we had to come back to work. We got into a car at the end of the night and drove back from Penn State.
We didn't drive ourselves. Somebody drove us.
We had a car service take us back from Penn State to Manhattan.
I was about to say.
Yeah, she thought we drove. No. Somebody drove us. And
car
drove
service.
us right to work.
Straight to work.
We just went straight to work. So we were just still drunk, throwing up. Like, everyone was like, "Where were you guys?" We're like, "Oh, we don't know where we are right now." Yeah. So we were in the same boat as you. But hopefully, when this ends, shots. Yeah. Shots at Champs.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh, man. Priyanka, thank you so much for coming back on our show. We love talking to you. And, you know, we just wish the best for you. We hope the book, everything you have coming up sounds so, so exciting. Everyone can go watch The White Tiger.
Yes, go do that.
And on top of that, like I said, buy the book, Unfinished by Priyanka Chopra Jonas, available tomorrow. So, Priyanka, thank you so much for coming on and talk to us.
Thank you so much, guys, for having me. I love talking to you guys. Chicks in the office.
And we love talking to you. Thank you so much for making time for us.
Of course. Bye, guys.
Bye. Guess I should say goodnight.
Stay safe out
there.
Say
say goodnight. It's like, how
Sleep
late?
tight.
It's late.
Yeah, it's late. It's like 9:30.
Okay. Not too bad. All right. Well, thank you so much, Priyanka. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
All right, that wraps up today's episode of Chicks in the Office. Just a reminder, if you're not watching us on YouTube, get to the Chicks in the Office YouTube channel, hit subscribe, put us up on the big screen, and enjoy the podcast. We hope you have I was going to say we hope you have a fantastic weekend, but it's only Monday, so we hope you have a great week, a great Monday. We will talk to you guys on Wednesday for the Bachelor recap. Love you. Bye.